I guess, like we have. And we don't rank real well defensively, nor do they, but they've been effective in helping them win. So that's what it's all about. So anyway, we're going to have a good week of practice and travel down there and take care of business. So questions?
They've given up like 17 or less in like 5 straight games. What is it that they're doing better?
Yeah, I think they've been doing a better job, in all areas. I mean, when it comes down to playing good defense, it's about tackling, limiting explosive plays, and generating some turnovers.
I've played games in Denver, coached in Denver, and you had the game in Mexico last year. Is there a major difference in the altitude between Mexico City and Denver? And is there any different, or is it basically the same approach?
Very similar. Mexico City has a little more elevation, a little more air pollution. So, it's like anything. There are different challenges that you face each week, and certainly understanding the climate there and the challenges there with the altitude and with the pollution. That's just part of it. But all in all, I thought we handled our business well last year. We've got a similar approach this year, and we expect to go down there and play in a great atmosphere. It's a great atmosphere. I mean, the fans are very engaged. It's a great atmosphere to be a part of, and just go down there and play good football. That's what our focus is.
Benefit at all having been through it last year and the experience and what is it?
Yeah, I mean, the number of guys that were with us, are they a little more comfortable? I think they know what's coming. I don't know that it really helps. I think each year each game's and each week's new, each game's new, and the challenges the opponents knew, and all those things. I think having dealt with the altitude, we do it every year. We go to Denver, so that's just part of what we do. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be a really good player for us. We tried to give him time to see if we'd have a shot to get him back later half of this year, and it's just not going to happen. And so, we'll look for him to heal and mend and be ready to help us next year.
Is he going to need surgery?
Sorry?
Is he going to need surgery?
That's for the doctors to determine. I'm just coaching the guys that I have, but I know we really hoped we could get him. He's going to be a really good player in this league, I believe, and we're looking forward to having him available here this year. It's just not going to work out.
And recovery is the huge thing you're pointing to during the bye week. So as you get back today, do you think you guys did recover well? Are you happy with what you see?
Yeah, we've got a number of guys that are further along. Some guys that are back, some guys that are still a little bit struggling, but it's definitely a valuable time to have to be able to mend a little.
Coach, Brady's the obvious answer, but what makes this offense so dangerous, so elite year in year out?
It's execution. I think they have a system they believe in. I think Josh does a great job of play calling. Tom executes it, makes it all happen, and they've had a lot of different pieces that they'll plug in, but obviously they've got some really good key players like Gronk, and Cooks, who they added. But I think the guy that makes it all go is Tom.
For a team, you guys have struggled defending the pass quite a bit this year in terms of percentage and grading and all those stat things. And then to face a guy like Brady, how do you get your guys confident enough that you can actually play with these guys?
Well, we can play with anybody in the league, but we've got to play better, or you're going to have a rough day against a guy like Tom Brady. So that's the challenge. We've got to do enough as a football team to win this game. We've got to play complementary football, and all three phases have to help. And we're going to need some stops. We're going to need some stops. And so we've got to play well. We've got to be sound. We've got to be solid. We've got to tackle well.
Coach, the Patriots have shown a tendency to sky their kickoffs, trusting their coverage team to make a stop for 25. What opportunity exists there for Cordero Patterson?
Well, we'll find out. It'll be interesting to see how they want to approach it. Obviously their kicker, Gokowski, is a guy that could kick it out if he wants to, especially at that altitude. He can kick it out every time if he wants to. So it'll be interesting to see if they want to approach it and give us opportunities with CP. They've got the best unit in the league right now covering kicks, and they have the fewest number of touchbacks. So they are being aggressive, trying to pin you down, make you come out, and try and tackle you inside the 20. So that'll be a little game within the game. We'll see how that plays out. Obviously, we like CP. We like what we think we're capable of doing there, and it'll be interesting to see how they approach it.
Yeah, and that special teams unit, they look pretty good in Denver. Do you have any overall?
Yeah, they look pretty good in Denver. Yes.
Do you have any more overall assessments of them?
Well, I mean, they're talented, throughout. I mean, I saw Slater is banged up. Not sure if he'll go. I saw he went back to New England. That was in the news this morning. But they've got guys, Nate Ebner, and they've got guys they've kept specifically for special teams, and Slater's one of them. And they've got great returners, in Lewis and Amendola. So, they put emphasis on their special teams. We do too. But they've been really good at it. They had a dominant game last week, and certainly that's one of the challenges for this week.
Sealy's spent a few years there and did a really good job for them over there. Belichick was talking about that today.
Yeah.
And was that part of the appeal of bringing him in as part of his background with not just New England, but other places he's been?
Yeah, Brad's a terrific coach. Really happy about having him here. He's done a great job with our guys. He's a coach that understands the need to develop the players we have. He's done a great job of that. I think if you look at what Marquette's been able to do here under his tutelage, to bring a guy like Giorgio along the way he did, some of our cover guys, that he's done a good job with that whole process of being a great coach in this league. And so we're able to get him, obviously the experience that he had with Bill and a lot of the big games that he's been in and some of the game management, some of the game decisions, I'll lean on him for some of that. So, Brad is a very trusted assistant and definitely a guy I'm glad we have on staff.
Just special teams decisions or just
no game management?
Clock?
Yeah, game management.
Everything.
Yeah.
Brady is pretty good when he's blitzed. How vital is it for you guys to be good getting there? A lot of times just with four guys.
Yeah, I mean, game plan stuff, blitz, don't blitz, how much you blitz, how much you pressure, how many guys you're bringing, all those things are part of game planning. I think for us, the need to not let Tom be comfortable is important. I think that's the biggest thing. It's easier said than done. They do a good job with design, with people, with scheme, him understanding where he wants to go with different people. But that's the chess match, and we're putting together a good plan. Need to slow them down, need to get some stops, need to play well in special teams, cannot let them dominate the game the way they did last week in Denver. And, offensively, we've got to move the ball and score points.
Who needs to step up in terms of helping out Khalil with that pass rush this week?
Everybody. It's a game of football. It's a team game. Khalil's a special player. He needs to continue to bring great energy, which he does. And, if the quarterback's going to throw the ball in less than 2 seconds, it's going to be tough to get there. So when the quarterback's throwing the ball quick like that, we've got to tackle and have their punt team come out. They'll get tired of punting or turning the ball over, and then they'll sit and hold the ball a little bit, and Khalil can get there. But if they're throwing the ball in 2 seconds or less, it's going to be hard to get sacks.
That's good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Derek, you get to go one-on-one and away against one of the greatest to ever do it. I know you're steady Eddie and try not to think about it that way, but does it get you a little bit more amped?
No. If I had to get more amped, we'd all have a problem. So, no. And good thing, like I've told you before, it's a good thing I don't play defense, so I'm not playing him, or we'd be in even more trouble. But, it is exciting. He's done a lot of great things in his career, and he's Hall of Famer, walking Hall of Famer. So I got nothing but respect for him, love his game.
How tough is it when you travel to a foreign country? Does it disrupt the week of preparation?
I think for us, we've done such a good job of being able to travel and being able to, make it just like home, especially, taking a week off into Sarasota and those kind of things. So, we've done that a couple of times. I feel like we're used to it now, and we love, our fans down in Mexico. We love playing in front of them, because Raider Nation is everywhere. So, it'll definitely be a home game, that's for sure.
What was that environment like? What do you remember from that environment last year there?
It felt like a big-time home game. It felt the atmosphere is, as I've been told, a playoff atmosphere. It's loud. There's a hum, there's a buzz throughout the game, offense or defense. But especially, when we're on defense, it gets really loud. They want us to win, and you could tell by looking in the stands how many Raider fans there were there that it's definitely a home game for us.
What did this bye week clarify for you, if anything at all?
My body, my mind. I got a break, which it's nice having that bye week, somewhere in the middle of the season. You get it too early, it's like, man, we just want to play, and you get it a little bit too late, and you're like, dang, we want to go on our run. But ours being, right where it's at, we're sitting at 4-5 with a lot of work to do. So it was good to sit back and reflect on what has happened, but really hone in and focus on this week and how important this game is going forward.
Have you marveled at all about, you guys are 4-5, and I know that's disappointing, but how you're right in it still? You've gotten so much help from everywhere else.
No, it's the NFL. You hear it every week. Guys are talking about teams that have one win or no wins and how much talent they have and these kind of things. It doesn't surprise me at all. And that's why we don't freak out. That's why we don't ever get too high or get too low. Because as soon as you get too high, then your bubbles popped real quick, and as soon as you get too low, it's over. If you can stay right there in the middle, which is kind of where we are right now, as a team too. Hey, Khalil. If we can stay right there in the middle, your mindset doesn't go, oh, we need to do this or we need to do that. You just stay in the middle and just keep competing your tail off.
What's the biggest thing you think you can do in the second half here to cut down on some of the interceptions?
Well, some of those, it's very situational. There's a couple that, we like to have back, but there's some that you just can't avoid sometimes. You're going to the right read, right spot with the ball, and maybe one or two things was wrong with whatever happened. And so, again, I don't get caught up in stats because stats lie, a lot of the time. I just try and play efficiently each play. And the more that I can do that, the more, hopefully, I don't throw any interceptions or anything like that. And the more that we have a chance to have the ball in our hands, the more opportunities we have to win.
Speaking of stats, you look at their defensive numbers, and they're not what people normally expect, but they also 17 or less points in 5 straight games, so they must be doing something right. What do you see when you look at them?
Exactly. That's another thing. Like if you just look at stats, they're averaging whatever and all that. It doesn't matter, man. They're good. They're well coached. They got first-round picks all over the field. They have talent. They have veterans to get them lined up. They got veterans that know that system, been in that system a long time. And so, like I said, stats are misleading a lot of the time. So they play very efficient. They tackle really well. They're very fundamentally sound. They don't miss a lot of open field tackles, and that's why, maybe early on they did, but they're a good tackling team, and so that helps limit the amount of points.
It's said that Belichick is supposedly one of the masters at taking one thing that you do best and taking it away from you, so you can't use that. You guys have enough? Can you go enough different areas that shouldn't be a problem for you?
I sure hope so. I absolutely do. I'm not. It's not a scary thing, to play them. They're the next team on the schedule. So let's not make it something it's not. But let's also respect that they're very smart. They're very wise in how they game plan things, and they have great players that can do it. So You know, if they're going to try and take things away, that's this league. You know, every team tries to take things away that you do good, and then you try and, you know, hit them with other things. So it works both ways, offense and defensively, in that sense.
Having said all that, Derek, is it all about pretty much basically how well you guys execute?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's something that came out of the first half of the season is, you know, we just got to worry about us. You know, we got to worry about me doing the right footwork, putting the ball in the right place, receivers running the right depth, O-line getting the right block with their footwork, running backs doing their job. If we all can just do our job for here on out, we'll be celebrating at the end, you know, because we have a lot of good players on here that work really hard, but so does everybody else. Things that separate you are the little things, and that's the things that, you know, the footwork, the eyes, you know, the reads, those kind of things, the unseen things that we need to do better going forward.
How's Jared's play? You talk about, you know, if they try to take something away, now you have, you know, the way Jared's played the last couple of weeks. Gives
Yeah.
you another option. How does that maybe diversify the offense a little bit?
Yeah, you know, it helps us because, you know, I think we have guys now, you know, I think the, you know, teams that play us see that we have guys that can all go off. You know, like I said, every team tries to take something away. You know, they try and take a player away or a certain phase of your game or emphasis. Everybody does that. And so whoever they try and take away, then that means other guys have to step up. And that's why, you know, Mr. McKenzie and Coach Del Rio have put great players on this team so that when their number is called, they win. And so, you know, that's, you know, that's how the league works. It's a matchup league, you know, and personnel-wise, schematically, it's all about matchups.
Having tight ends who can stretch the field a little bit more maybe than some tight ends can.
Yeah.
Help in that regard. We sort of use them the way you use.
You know, because there's a lot of tight ends. Yeah, there's a lot of tight ends that can run the intermediate and short routes, but not a lot of them can, you know, on third down run a go route, you know, and catch a 35-yard gain. You know, those are few and far between. So, you know, having a guy like Jared to have that speed that he doesn't just run the short stuff or the intermediate stuff, he can take the top off, and I'm liable to throw it. You know, even if when corners are guarding him, I've thrown the ball to him when corners are guarding him. I've thrown it when safeties, linebackers are guarding him. You know, just having that, you know, at our disposal is really nice.
Even though you do see that, or you do say that, you know, the stats don't tell the entire story, they have given up a lot of passing yards this year. As you look at them on film, do you see opportunities for you guys in the passing game as well?
Yeah. Every time you turn the film on, you see opportunities versus any team. You know, some of their things have come from, you know, some busted coverages that, you know, usually guys don't mess up and things like that. You know, there's, again, like I said, there's a lot of things that go into, you know, a certain play or a stat. You know, so I don't look too much into it. I prepare this game. You know, honestly, I prepare every game like they're the number one defense in the league, and we got to go at them because if you don't get ready for them, they will be.
Back to Jared real quick. How's he helped in the run game? He's an excellent blocker.
Yes.
By advantage. Having a
Yes.
guy who can help in that regard too. How has that been an advantage?
It can change the personnel that people play. You know, if they want to play a sub defense with him on the field, and he's shown that he can block, then, you know, that makes it tough on them. You know, if they want to play a base defense and he's shown that he can catch routes, you know, that's the risk, you know, that they're taking each time. And so, you know, like I said, we've talked about it with the running backs as well. They have to be able to do everything. You know, we have to have guys that can do everything. We have to have Lee be able to run routes and catch the ball, and he has. You know, so you know, being able to have guys that can do all different spots, it definitely helps.
Because of the timing of the bye week, basically mid-season, are you guys looking at this as a whole new season starting from now, and that, hey, we've got a chance to still be the team we thought we could be before the season started?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it because you know, we still are that team. we're you know, we got the same people. You know, so we didn't think too highly or too low of ourselves. We're the same guys, you know, waking up at, you know, 5 in the morning and coming to work while other people are sleeping. So, you know, we're going to continue to be that team. The ones that do the little things right. We're going to continue to be that because that's the culture we've built here. And guys had time now to look on the bye week and say, man, I can do that better, or I can do this better. And now let's just go do it. You know, you've pointed it out, now fix it. So I have a number of things that I've been trying to do a little bit better, and hopefully at the end of the day, those little things add up. And like you said, we can start, you know, this last half of the year and go on a roll.
You guys been pretty insulated from the whole business aspect of it, but did you watch the Vegas groundbreaking at all?
No, I did not. I did not. To be honest, I didn't know it was happening until I saw it, you know, pop up on the phone, and I was like, oh, sick. They did it. So I was not paying attention.
Hey, Derek, going to Mexico City again. Any thoughts at all about the potential of green laser pointers coming into the year?
face this time?
No. You know, I think that going down there is a home field advantage. So I'm not worried about the laser pointers. I think that that's for the other guys.
All right. All set?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.